there are actually a bunch of really interesting writings vindicating the view that St. Augustine and St. Thomas did not actually teach that it's strictly speaking necessary in a fallen society. Rather, first of all, they were talking about one of the things that in principle a lawgiver could permit to occur while not approving because of foreseen, by their prudential reasoning, foreseen worse evils occurring with its abolition. However, at the same time, they were discussing, St. Augustine was discussing this under particular conditions, very specific conditions, not something universal to all cases, but under certain conditions, he said it may be that a governor could make this, a lawgiver could make this decision. St. Alphonsus just says no, it just shouldn't be permitted, because the actual circumstances like never actually caused this this to become necessary. Not that in principle they can't, but they actually just don't. And also that that these women who often intergenerationally fall into these ways of life shouldn't just be left there as like disposal places for the immoral acts of certain men. Also, he says that men who engage in these actions are actually not going to become less lascivious towards upright and free women, but more, because they're going to deepen the same passions. It's not going to be a kind of relief so that they don't do this with other women, but they will go after whatever they are attracted to according to the mode of how to acquire it with the least damage to themselves. So when St. Augustine is talking about this, he's simply talking about the doctrine of permission of evil. Now, Pope Leo XIII discusses this in his famous encyclical Libertas Prestantissimum. The doctrine of permission is effectively human government's rightful imitation of divine permission of evils. This is to say that certain things which are against the sort of like principles of virtue or the sort of magisterial deposit of the state, certain things which go against that, nevertheless are not legally enforced against, or are not effectively enforced against by the actual peacekeeping powers. And the reason is because of foreseen detriments being worse than the detriments that follow from permission.